Greetings! This is Toy Customizer Wakeangel2K1, bringing out the biggest toy that I bought at Philadelphia Comic Con. It is the one, the only Springer. I have not been looking forward to a Transformer this much since, since they brought out RC for Transformers Prime. The first edition one, that is. And get a look at this robot. This thing is just... This is the most perfect robot mode I've ever seen from a Transformer. At least for quite a while. I mean, first of all, no homo, but this just might be the sexiest form I've ever seen. I mean, he looks just like... He looks just so heroic. I mean, he looks slim but strong. He has... There really isn't... Well... Okay, first let me get the weapons out of the way because I'll talk about accessories in a minute, but right now we're talking about the robot mode on its merits by itself. And it's just unfreaking believable how amazing this is. He's just awesome. And I can't, it's, okay, it's not going to be a very good review if I'm gushing, but look at his feet. Dude has a big toe. Yeah, he has a toe. His toes. Okay, talking about the feel of this toy. He feels a lot more solid than anything else that I've felt in a long time. Like, remember when I said Grimlock? That toy had the effect of looking big and imposing, but when you touched him, he felt very lightweight and hollow. Well, this guy, he does not feel like that. He feels very solid. I feel like I can squeeze him and I have no hope of actually damaging him anyway. As for the look of his robot mode, he hides his kibble incredibly well. I mean, there's like nothing here that would really stick out saying this is a blatant alt mode piece. I mean, you have little wings on his arms, which actually look more functional as weapons than anything else. The only thing is this thing on his back, which is the cockpit window. It's a little bit loose, but not very. And this is his biggest piece of kibble right here. Even his wheels. I mean, I've never seen a Transformer go through so much effort to tuck the wheels inside the limbs like this so that they're out of the way. I mean, not since, I haven't seen wheel legs quite this well utilized since Animated Prowl. And I've never seen shoulder wheels like this. I mean, if you bring out even other Transformers that are among my favorites, such as Classics Mirage, I mean, his form is great, but you just can't help but notice that he has a pair of big old wheels just sticking out of his back like eyesores, and his ankle wheels stick out a little bit too far. Like, remember how I mentioned if this folded in, and maybe if you could push those in, it would be perfect? Well, that's basically what they managed to do with Springer, and it's amazing. So let's talk about his articulation. He has ball-jointed neck. It can look up and down very well, turn all the way around. It's actually not really ball-jointed, it's actually universal jointed because I can't get any tilt out of it. But still, that is an amazing head, and the neck looks great too. Yeah. That is look at his head. That is one of the most handsome Autobot faces I've ever seen. Again, no homo. But yeah, he just looks fantastic. He has a great head. The torso is also very well sculpted. He has a waist joint. That's something that Grimlock did not have. And I am very happy to see that waist joint. Actually, everything about this figure is amazing. He's almost on the level of one of the Masterpiece figures, except that he's a Voyager class. His shoulders, they go out like this on a transformation joint. They also go forward. He has very nice clicky ratcheted elbows that go to 90 degrees. And he has a bicep swivel, which is very good. Yay. He has ankle movement. Not ankle, wrist. The wrist can rotate. And it goes in like this. can help a little bit with two-handed sword poses. I'll show you that when I get to his accessories. The legs, he has universal hips that can go all the way out like this, and they go all the way forward like that, and they go back a bit before they bump into his backpack kibble, which is, I'm gonna call it skirt kibble because it's kind of like a battle skirt. He has a thigh swivel just below that. He actually has this extra joint right here above his knee, which exists to help the helicopter tail come into place a little better. And he has a great knee that goes 90 degrees and is clicky ratcheted. This spike on his knee can go down like this or fold all the way up. He has some foot articulation, mostly due to transformation. And this thing, which forms the spoiler of his car and the fins of the helicopter, can be folded down like this to give him a little bit of extra heel support for certain poses. It comes in handy sometimes. I mean, ordinarily I'd be angry that these don't clip into place, but they actually don't clip into place, and I feel like that was somewhat intentional so that they could help in posing for those heel supports. So it's really not something I can hold against it. It's actually a feature. Even this guy's flaws help him. Dude. Okay, so let's get into his accessories. First is a sword. This is made out of his helicopter rotor. It pegs right into his hand. As you can see, the sword's hilt it's short and does not come out the bottom of his hand, but that's okay. Because with his articulation, it's robust enough that you can fake a two-handed sword pose. I have done it before. Maybe I'll just upload some still pictures at the end showing him off in a bunch of cool poses. That way I don't have to spend so much time flubbing around trying to prove it to you here. He also has a gun. The gun has an articulated handle, which helps in so it can stick onto the roof of the car in alt mode and be more natural in his hand and other poses. Let's just stick that right in there. The gun works with pressure missiles, so they don't shoot very far, and sometimes they don't even come out of the barrel. But you know what? I'll be okay accepting a somewhat lackluster firing gimmick, because at least the gun looks awesome. That's important, that the gun looks awesome. I really don't care that it doesn't fire all that great. Alright, so the big famous thing about Springer is that he's a triple changer, so let's take a look at his other alt modes. Let's start with the car. And here is Springer in car mode. Now he is a Voyager size figure, so it's a pretty big car. It's actually classified as a big armored vehicle. For comparison, here's Mirage to show what a deluxe size car is. It has about the same width for the wheelbase, but you know, Springer obviously is just bigger and has more bulk to him because he's a larger figure. This is a fantastic looking car, and it rolls pretty well. The only problem is, I think, because of the masterpiece of his engineering, the fact that he's a mass-produced figure can let him down a little bit, because some of the parts don't line up together quite perfectly. Like these, it's kind of difficult to get these side panels here to tab into place at the same time as the roof is completely tabbed into place. And it's kind of disappointing, but I can see why it happens from a manufacturing standpoint. In this mode, the sword doesn't do much except store away. According to I just popped the wheel out of place. See, it's like the tabs, they don't want to stay. It's kind of hard for me to understand how this thing is supposed to store. It says in the instructions that you open up the helicopter landing gear, stick that in, and then it's supposed to... Oh, I see, there's little clips. Okay, seeing how this works now. You clip those into place, and that holds the sword underneath the car. Although again, the toy can be let down by how precise the machining can be made in a mass-produced toy. Either that or my fingers are too fat. But I have pretty slim, graceful fingers, so I'm gonna say it's the toy. So yeah, that kind of just tucks in like this. You stick it in. Though it kind of doesn't work. Ah, well, there we go. There, we have a stowed sword and it still rolls. Although I feel like the sword is dragging the ground just a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it's not as good as sword storage as Drift's. Drift stores his sword like a champion, but I guess it's passable. And the gun, you can just stick it on the roof. What else are you gonna do with it, really? Oh, and then you put too much pressure and untab a bunch of crap. But yeah, now he's a weaponized car. Really, really awesome alt mode. This is a great car mode. And it really looks like a car. It doesn't look like a helicopter masquerading as a car. So, oh, and really, there isn't much robot visible. Even from underneath, you can just kind of see the pelvis and the head folded in. Aside from that, not much really shows. So yeah, it's a great, great car mode. Absolutely love that car mode. Now let's see the helicopter mode. Now, once again, there is a small manufacturing defect on my figure, and that is here. It seems that this piece was machined like a 1/2 millimeter too long, because I can't get the cockpit to completely peg into place. See, this tab is, you can see right there, that tab that's supposed to peg right here, but on mine, the roof is just a little bit too short, or that yellow chest piece is a little bit too long, and it doesn't really want to stay in place. I'm pretty sure this is just a mass manufacturing defect, and that other people might not have this problem. Some of them might. Some might have problems in different places. That's what happens when you make 1,000,000 units, you know? Still, aside from that, this is a fantastic helicopter. I mean, this does not look like a car pretending to be a helicopter. I mean, even the wheels are hidden inside of everything. So, yeah, there's nothing here that indicates that there's nothing that blatantly indicates that it's a car. The rotors are right up there. They spin. As you can see, the rotors are the sword. And he's a bit longer in this mode, because now the legs are completely unfurled to make the helicopter tail. And I think I might be pulled in a little bit too close. And he can still wield the gun. You just fold in that front landing gear, and there's clips that the gun goes into on the front, and this is what you need this for. You fold the barrel of the gun out of the way, and then it clips into this front yellow part. I don't want to do this on camera because it's really a tight connection. Just trust me, it works. I've done it. It looks awesome. You're not going to trust me. Hold on. There we go. I couldn't get it in because I didn't have the landing gear folded all the way in. It actually goes in quite easily. So yeah, like the knee pads become the rear landing gear, and they can fold away. So you have an in-flight helicopter. Yeah. It looks really good. I mean, the helicopter mode is a little bit more hollow in the underside, but it still looks very coherent. It's a very nice armored helicopter. Like, Springer is not a subtle toy. He's not some dinky little recon bot. He is built to fight. He can fight and blow the crap out of everything. So, boom, boom. Yeah. Except that his pressure launch gun doesn't shoot very far. But again, I told everyone that I don't mind the gun's lack of spring-loaded missiles because it looks so cool! So we're back in robot mode, Despite the amazingness and the distinctiveness of the other two, Robot Mode is still by far my favorite for this guy, for reasons. And now that we have concluded my review of the awesomeness that is Springer, and really the last major thing that I bought from Comic-Con, this is Toy Customizer Wakeangel2K1, going to leave you with some pictures of Springer doing awesome Springer things.